Hi guys, I'm Master John Drake, and today I'm going to do a video where I critique my student Rowan's video. She had this fight here against Toritaka at Penzik about a month ago or so. But this video is also going to be a way to demonstrate kind of how I do video review processes, because with my Patreon, if you subscribe to that, you can send me a video and I can critique it. So this is kind of a preview of what that would look like. So I'll show you my process of how I do that by critiquing Rowan's fight here. So it'll give you an idea of what that would look like. So to start this video, go ahead and mute that. This is all the before fight things. One thing, so I can see the person's a little bit in the way. So here we'll stop the video right here. So we'll start off by saying that I think Rowan's guard looks very good. This is what we've practiced. Her dagger's low, but not too low to cover the line of her opponent's sword. So that's a really good job there. Sword is pointed up, good position threat. She's keeping her range. Good bending in her knees, tension there. So overall, this is a good stance. So I don't really have a lot of critique from there. We'll see if that changes though, because a lot of people start out with good stances, but their stance will change, and that's something that we'll keep an eye on as we go. So let's see. You can see. See, I don't super love this here from Rowan, where she sort of stands up. Like, it's hard to tell from the video angle whether this is how close this is. So she's kind of breaking measure here, but I think she could have stayed in her stance a little better. This is kind of resetting, and she is a little bit, I think she is out of measure, but I just don't think this really provided much of a purpose. I think she should have gotten a little farther out before she completely broke her guard if she wanted to reset like this. And then she settles down, and I think this is a little too low. That back leg goes real low. Like, it's good to be low and have tension in your legs, but this is a big settle in measure. You can see how she steps here, and then she settles down low. And I think Tora wasn't sure what she was going to do, so he steps back because he's a little worried about what's going to happen. But this, he could have, if he had known, if he had read this a little differently, she was vulnerable here while she settles. So I don't think that was a good settle. I think she should have settled a little more out and then taken a step into measure to gain this position here, rather than having that knee go so low in measure. And I also think this knee is too low here. I think it could be a little bit higher. It's good to be low in your stance, but that's too low, I think. Yeah, see, that's a little better right here. And I like this movement here because Rowan realized she was a little too close and she backed out. So that was good. Because if you just stand, especially against an opponent as good as Toritaka is, if you stand there and just let him control the range, he'll probably just kill you. So you have to be really dynamic with your positioning. I like her dagger staying low. So let's see. He attacks here. He takes a small entry step and then attacks. And Rowan does a good job here. She retreats as he attacks. So she's parrying. So she's saving. So she's gaining time by retreating out of the attack, which is good. What I don't like though is that she profiles her body here and kind of comes up on one foot. So like this isn't the best retreat. And also as she's retreating here, she's going up a little too much. And then her hands and feet kind of get out of position. So she does live because she backed up, which is good. Could have been a little more controlled. I think she thought she had an opportunity to attack back, and she did almost hit him here, but I think it's partially the reason she missed is because her positioning was bad. Like she hunches her shoulder here, picks her back foot up. So I don't think that's great. I think that's threw her shot off. And she got a little lucky because Tora did. It was very close. So she's resetting here. This is good. If she doesn't like it, back up. This is a good position to be in. Like she's not in guard, but she's well out of range. And once again, I think a little too low, but not as bad. And her dagger, I don't like the little move up and down, as you can see. It's a really small kind of nitpicky thing. But as she's coming in, her dagger's kind of going up and then back down. Good adjustment of range there. So let's see what happens here. So here, I think this is a little bit too aggressive of a step. Like if she's gonna make this aggressive step here, she should have gone ahead and attacked. But this step here, and then right here, like she looks like she wants to attack. She should have just gone ahead and attacked right there. And the dagger's a little too high. That's another thing. Because his blade is low, and her dagger kind of comes up as she steps in. So then Tora counterattacks. He's throwing on her step because she stepped. That's why he attacked. And I really think that this was just Rowan getting lucky here, because she steps. She's sort of static in range. She doesn't really move back, and Tora's blade just brushes her. She does get her dagger and knock it up off of her, and does have a pretty good attempt at a throwback here. But I really think she should have taken a small step back, which would have given her time to get her dagger on this blade a little bit better, and then her counter punch would have been a little bit more controlled. I think she got lucky to not die in this position. She did almost hit Tora's arm, which was good, but this could have been a double. She could have just died, right? So like, I don't like her just sort of standing up here like this, and also look, her legs get real straight. So I think she got lucky to not die there. And we don't like to fight with luck, right? We like to control the situation all the time and not rely on random chance to win or lose fights, right? We want to be in control. So here's good. Dagger's in a good position here, but once again, it's kind of going up and down for no reason. So I don't like that. And then she gets hit here. Let's play that back at speed real quick. And we'll watch that slow. So I think there's a couple of things here that Rowan could work on better to not have let this happen. So she's taking steps in. And another thing she's doing here, so she takes a step, and then she takes another step. But she takes one too many steps, and this step right here is Tora really likes to throw at you while you take a step. And while you're taking a step, especially if you're in range, you're vulnerable, because while you're moving your foot, you can't be doing something else, and it also makes your hands move slower. So taking a step in someone else's range or measure is just really dangerous, especially with someone like Tora, who will throw a shot right at. He's really good at timing that, so you have to be really careful here. So this probably should have been a little bit of. This probably shouldn't have been this step here. She probably should have done something to control the sword earlier in this exchange, and she should have attacked earlier as well, because she let Tora. So Tora goes from low to high. He brings his sword up, and he brings his sword across his body. So he is covering her sword with his sword, right? Which is really good. And then he throws down the center. And so he keeps Rowan blocked out with his sword. His dagger's there backing him up, and hits her on the center. And as you can see, Rowan realized she made the mistake right here, and she kind of tries to turn out of it. This is also not good, right? Like, this is a bad posture to be in, and she's trying to save herself. She's already dead, obviously, but this wasn't that great. What Rowan should have done is, if she realized that when Tora was attacking her, she should have been stepping back, and she shouldn't have given him this small tempo of a step in measure. So mostly Rowan lost this fight because of some tactical decisions about range and making steps in measure. Her overall form was pretty decent. Couple of little things with her dagger could be better, and her settling her stance in range was also a couple of mistakes there. But some good stuff to work on. Rowan should be a little more dynamic about her range, and creating a little bit more of a threat earlier on, a little bit farther away from Tora, so that he has to respect that a little bit more and back up. But overall, not a bad fight from Rowan, and there's a lot of stuff for her to work on. So, if you want a personalized video like this of your fight, either pickups or practice fights or tournament fights, please consider subscribing to my Patreon, and I'd be happy to make a video for you like this, where we can go into detail. And this is kind of a taste, like a preview of what that could be like, but it will be personalized to you. So if you think that would be something cool, please consider doing that, and I'll see you all next time.